video I made a couple of weeks ago, or probably about a month ago. I put some videos up about this keto diet I'm on, but I mentioned a few things that I do. I'm an instrument-rated licensed airplane pilot. I'm a licensed Part 107 commercial drone pilot. A few things, but I'm just about to turn 65. I started driving a tractor trailer when I was 18, and I drove one most of my life till I was 45, and then got off the road and went into the safety department for a company, and after a few years worked my way up to safety director. And after a few years after that, with a lot of training, schooling, and just a lot of learning from the School of Hard Knocks, I was in 2007. I became a NATME certified director of safety. But I've been a safety director for trucking companies for basically the last 17 years. Right now, when I came back to Jacksonville, I got a job with a big corporation, huge corporation. I'm not the director here, but I'm one of the 9 safety managers, so I still have, about 450 drivers under my watch. So I guess if there's anything I do consider myself an expert on, and that would be trucking, transportation, trucking, and regulation. So safety and compliance, would be the biggest thing. So I guess if I had to give advice to people, the first thing I'd want to give the advice to anybody, motorist, around truckers, you're out there on the Highway 1, is just don't hang around alongside them. Don't stay just right in behind them. Don't stay alongside them. There's one thing, you're never going to know. You might see a big old fancy truck out there, and that truck driver, he may have 20 or 30 years experience, or that driver may have just got his CDL, his commercial driver's license, 6 weeks ago, went through 4 weeks of training with a company with another driver, and this may be his first solo trip. I mean, you never know. Anywhere in between, 30 and 40 years of trucking, or their first solo day on the job, so you always have to be careful of that. One of the things I really, again, want to encourage you is don't just hang around alongside a truck out here on the interstate. A couple of reasons, no matter how many mirrors they have nowadays, it's a whole lot more than what they used to have. The visibility is better, but it takes time to look at them. They do have a big truck, a lot of times a lot of weight, a lot of things on their mind, a lot of things going on around them, and there are a lot of things to watch for. But the other thing is, I don't know if you've ever seen a truck tire blow out, been riding right behind one, but you're riding right alongside a truck, and that tire blows out. I mean, those things go off like a bomb, and sometimes they can throw a chunk of rubber that's 30 or 40 pounds, and even if it doesn't do that, it'll scare you to death and make you run off the road. But if you're right behind him even, and he blows that tire and he slings off a great big chunk of rubber, well, it can do a lot of damage to the undercarriage of your vehicle if you run over it. And if you panic and swerve trying to go around it, well, you can slam into another car. So, lots of reasons why not to be hanging around big trucks. It's if you're going to have to pass one, then as you're starting to get up there closer to them, well, give it a little gas. I'm not saying put on the afterburners. Don't go get yourself a ticket or do anything silly. Go ahead and give it a little more gas and just decisively get around him. If he's coming around you and you're doing 65 miles an hour and he's doing 67 miles an hour, he starts coming around you, well, go ahead and slow down. You don't have to slam on the brakes, but slow down until he gets a little ways ahead of you. There are lots of things that can happen. Once again, he can blow out a tire. He may find himself somebody call me a motorist complaint, and they'd say, your driver tried to run me off the road. And I'd say, you saying my driver tried to run you off the road? That's assault. You know? And they'd say, this driver's a maniac. He's all over the road. He's going to kill somebody. And I'm saying, well, why in the world aren't you calling 911? You know, it's